very warm welcome. I am Gushin Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, I get you the top 40 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. We begin with the latest updates from West Asia. US airstrikes hit a fuel point in Yemen, reportedly killing at least 38 and injuring over 100. The strikes target a key fuel source for the Iran-backed Houthi group amid efforts to deter Red Sea attacks. Israel, meanwhile, says it intercepted a missile from Yemen, triggering sirens in several areas. Hamas rejects Israel's offer of an interim truce and demands a comprehensive deal to end the war in Gaza. This as the group seeks a full exchange of Israeli hostages for Palestinians held in Israeli jails, along with an end to the conflict and the reconstruction of the besieged strip. Moving to the war in Ukraine, Russian strikes overnight killed 2 people and injure at least 27 others in the Ukrainian city of Kharkiv and Sumy, with Kharkiv suffering damage from missile attacks using cluster munitions. In Sumy, a drone attack on civilian infrastructure killed 1 person and injured another. This comes as aerial assaults escalate in the conflict despite international calls for a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Kyiv announces the signing of a memorandum with the US marking an initial step towards a deal of developing mineral resources in Ukraine. The agreement comes after a previous delay following a tense meeting between President Donald Trump and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump says the accord itself could be signed by next week. In South Asia, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks to billionaire and Tesla CEO Elon Musk over a phone call. This comes after the duo met in Washington earlier this year. In a post on social media, Prime Minister Modi said he discussed collaboration in technology and innovation with Musk, adding that India remains committed to advancing partnerships with the US in these areas. Bangladesh demands a formal apology from Pakistan over atrocities committed during the 1971 war. This comes as Dhaka and Islamabad hold their first foreign secretary-level talks in 15 years in Bangladesh. Bangladesh also demands $4.3 billion from Pakistan as its share of assets from the 1971 split. In Southeast Asia, Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim announces Myanmar's junta and opposition group have agreed to extend a ceasefire to facilitate humanitarian aid efforts after the deadly earthquake. This comes as both sides seek to address the ongoing humanitarian crisis, with over 3,600 people confirmed dead and millions displaced by the March disaster. In Europe, US Vice President J.D. Vance arrives in Italy ahead of his meetings with Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and Vatican officials. Vance is due to meet Meloni later today, a day after the Italian Prime Minister met with President Donald Trump in Washington. Vance will also meet the Vatican Secretary of State, the second highest official at the Holy See after the Pope. Moving to the US, a police officer's son opened fire at Florida State University, killing 2 people and injuring 4 others before being shot by responding officers. Authorities identified the suspect as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichener, a student at FSU, who has access to his mother's personal firearm during the attack. Authorities say the motive behind the attack is still unknown. In Africa, banks and gas stations across Mali remain closed as a major union launches a 72-hour strike, demanding the release of 3 detained members and better working conditions. The union warns the strike could be extended by another 5 days if demands are not met. This comes as talks between the union and government stall, despite officials claiming negotiations are still underway. In climate news, severe weather struck Italy's Piedmont region, causing floods and landslides. Over 400 firefighters responded to more than 300 emergencies in the province of Turin and Biella. Authorities dispatched additional teams to assist with rescue operations, drainage, and securing hazardous trees. The weather caused extensive damage and disruptions, with several areas still dealing with the aftermath. Northern New Zealand was hit by a wild weather as tropical cyclone Tam brought high winds and heavy rains to the region. Thousands of homes in Northland lost power and cell phone services were also affected. Trees were uprooted, minor flooding occurred and transport was disrupted, with some flights and ferry services cancelled in Auckland. Poland is experiencing unseasonably high temperatures, potentially becoming the hottest country in Europe this April. Coastal towns like Sopot saw beaches packed with families. Residents and tourists alike welcome the sunshine but expressed concern about the implications of climate change. Meteorologists confirmed a hot air mass has settled over the region, contributing to the heat wave. The India Meteorological Department has issued heatwave warnings for western states including Rajasthan and Gujarat, while parts of the east are bracing for heavy rainfall. India's capital, New Delhi, is expected to touch 37 degrees Celsius. The capital's air quality remained in the moderate range with an AQI of 184. The IMD warned of warm nights and potential health risks due to extreme weather conditions across the subcontinent. In a touching act of conservation, volunteers near St. Petersburg, Russia, are physically carrying frogs and toads across a busy road to help them reach spawning grounds safely. The animal migrate from forests to wetlands and back during spring, crossing a road that has historically claimed up to 1,000 amphibians each season. Volunteers aim to reduce fatalities and raise awareness about environmental preservation. On to business and tech news. Elon Musk, SpaceX and two other partners reportedly emerge as front runners to win a crucial part of President Trump's Golden Dome missile defense shield, which is an initiative aimed at enhancing the U.S. defense capabilities. Reports suggest the companies pitched their proposal to Pentagon and administration officials in recent weeks, focusing on a more efficient and agile defense system. The U.S. introduces new port fees on Chinese-built and operated ships aimed at boosting the domestic shipbuilding industry in the country. The fees are set to begin in mid-October and will apply to Chinese-linked ships based on tonnage and container per voyage. This comes as trade tensions escalate between Beijing and Washington. China says the new fees could increase global shipping costs and disrupt supply chains. A U.S. judge rules that Google illegally monopolizes online ad technology, a decision that could hit the tech giant's revenue and lead to a potential breakup of its ad business. The federal antitrust suit accuses Google of dominating digital ad sectors and harming competition. Google vows to appeal the ruling, which comes days before it faces another monopoly trial over online search. Florida and New Jersey launched investigations into video games app Roblox and Discord over child safety concerns. This comes as Florida's Attorney General subpoenas Roblox over its safety policies and parental controls. Meanwhile, New Jersey files a lawsuit against Discord, alleging it misled users about protections against harmful content. In deal-making news, Global Payments agrees to acquire rival WorldPay from financial technology firm FIS and private equity firm GTCR in an over $24 billion deal. This comes as Global Payments sell its issuer solutions unit to FIS for nearly $14 billion to sharpen focus on merchant services. Ride-hailing company Uber is reportedly in talks to acquire Turkish food delivery platform Trendyol. This comes as the company looks to expand its food delivery operations following past acquisitions like Postmates and Drizzly. Trendyol is owned by e-commerce giant Trendyol Group, which is majority held by China's Alibaba. Swiss industrial group ABB announces plans to spin off its robotics division, marketing its biggest shakeup since the 2018 sale of its power grids business. This comes as the robotics sector faces challenges amid subdued demand from the automotive industry, though ABB sees long-term growth potential. Brazilian state-run oil company Petrobras says it will reduce the price of diesel sold to its distributors by an average of $0.02 per litre. The price cut follows recent decline in crude oil prices and shifts in the exchange rate after President Donald Trump imposed tariffs on a number of countries on April 2nd. Moving to quarterly earnings reports. Netflix profit beat for the first quarter of 2025, boosted by strong subscriptions and advertising growth. The streaming giant says it sees no significant shift in consumer behavior despite economic uncertainty from President Trump's tariff policies. L'Oreal reports a 3.5% rise in first quarter sales, beating expectations amid strong demand in Europe for skincare and fragrance products. The French cosmetics giant, however, sees a drop in sales in North America as consumer sentiment weakens amid escalating tariff tensions. The company says it may raise US prices to offset the tariff impact. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. Mumbai beat Hyderabad by 4 wickets in the ongoing Indian Premier League. After taking to field at the Wankhede Stadium, Mumbai restricted the visitors at 162 runs. In response, Mumbai chased down the total with 4 wickets and 11 balls remaining. Mumbai Will Jacks was awarded player of the match for his 2-wicket haul and 36-run innings. Fatima Sana-led Pakistan kept up their unbeaten run at the Women's Cricket World Cup qualifier. The hosts made it 4 wins out of the 4 as they thrashed Thailand by 87 runs in Lahore. Pakistan's qualification now confirms that the tournament will be held in hybrid model, as they won't be travelling to India for the World Cup scheduled to be held in September. Global cricket governing body ICC plans no cuts from the funding of Afghanistan's cricket board. This is despite the criteria for ICC membership specifying support to women's cricket. Afghanistan Cricket Board does not support women's cricketers out of the country since Taliban returned to power in the country in August 2021. In football, Manchester United beat French group Lyon in the second leg of Europa League quarter-finals. After being down 2-0 in the first half, Lyon made a stunning comeback to extend their lead 3-2 by extra time. But the United pulled off a fight back to snatch the win with a final flurry, sealing the game 5-4 on the night and 7-6 on aggregate. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk has signed a new 2-year contract with the club. The 33-year-old centre-back's previous contracts had been set to expire at the end of the season. But the Dutchman has joined forward Mohamed Salah, who signed a 2-year extension last week in committing his future to the club. In tennis, men's world number 2 Carlos Alcaraz advanced to the quarterfinals of Barcelona Open. The Spaniard beat Serbian rival 6-2, 6-4. Alcaraz said he is content with his performance, adding, and I quote, "I played a bit more like what my level is." Men's world number 7 Alex de Minaur also advanced to the Barcelona Open quarterfinals. The Australian beat unseeded American Jacob Fernley in the straight sets. Alex de Minaur will meet Carlos Alcaraz in the semi-finals later today. Spanish tennis legend Rafael Nadal will be honoured at this year's French Open. Grand Slam's director confirmed. Nadal is scheduled to be honoured during French Open's opening on May 25th. The former world number 1 won 14 of his 22 Grand Slam titles at Roland Garros. American legend Serena Williams said she would have been hit with a 20-year ban if she had failed doping tests like Yannick Sinner. The 23-time Grand Slam winner said, and I quote, "If I did that, I would have gotten 20 years. I would have gotten Grand Slams taken away from me." End quote. The men's world number 1 Sinner twice tested positive for a banned substance and was banned for 3 months. And in Formula 1, Max Verstappen played down the concerns he may leave Red Bull. Speaking before the vacant Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, Verstappen said he just wants to focus on his car and his people. He added, and I quote, "A lot of people are talking about me, except me," end quote. And finally, from the world of showbiz, Sean Diddy Combs has filed a motion to exclude surveillance footage of him assaulting singer Cassie Ventura from his upcoming federal trial. His legal team argues that the video is unreliable and emotionally hurtful. They also claim the government failed to authenticate the footage and didn't make reasonable efforts to secure the original copy. The video has sparked major backlash and could play a pivotal role in the trial if admitted. Drake has filed an amended complaint in his ongoing defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group, taking aim at Kendrick Lamar's diss track Not Like Us. The updated legal filing now spans 107 pages and claims Universal used Lamar's Grammy wins and his Super Bowl halftime show performance to intentionally defame him. Lucasfilm has officially confirmed that Ryan Gosling will headline Star Wars Starfighter in a new installment in the Star Wars saga set for release on May 28, 2027. The project has been described as high concept and grounded in the franchise's rich mythology. The film is expected to start production later this year. Golden Globe nominee Piper Perabo is set to appear in 3 episodes of Grey's Anatomy, Season 21, beginning May 1. She will portray Jenna Gatlin, a determined mother advocating for her daughter Dylan, who is undergoing a high-risk brain surgery at Grey Sloan. Perabo's character is expected to bring emotional depth and drama to the final stretch of the season. And finally, Amazon has officially picked up a live-action Pacific Rim series. It will serve as a prequel to the films. Plot details are under the wraps. However, the announcement signals a major step in reviving the franchise, which includes 2 feature films, an anime series, and a wide range of merchandise. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gushin Galan, and we'll see you right back here next week. Stay informed and stay tuned to Firstpost.